Thank you for joining us for week 5 of Offsides on YouTube here. We have Shifty Eyes Rolf here, as well as No Hair Mike and Randy back for more football action. We talk about some week 5 highlights and a couple of topics that come to mind. So we're going to talk about the first couple of games and the recaps, and looking at the first one was something we didn't expect. And that was the Broncos versus the Cowboys. Now, usually when you put up 48 points, you can win a game. But in this case, they go against the Broncos, Peyton Manning, and the Broncos put up 51 points to close it out. Should the Broncos, however, be worried? Because the Cowboys, I know they put up points, and we looked at some of the numbers when they, throughout the weeks. But should the Broncos be worried, considering they're trying to make a run for the Super Bowl, and this defense just gave up 48 points to the Dallas Cowboys?
No, they don't have to worry about it because Peyton Manning, obviously, no matter how many points the other team puts up, is going to put up more.
He's going to put up more.
He doesn't care. It's like, you put up 48, I'll do 51, no problem. This is easy for him, and it looks easy. That play on the 1 yard line where they basically said, don't go into the end zone,
sure, just
get the first down, and we're going to kill the clock.
Yeah.
Because we know that if we let Dallas have it again, we're doomed.
Yes, that's correct. That's right.
So
that's right.
Peyton, he's a genius right now. There's nothing you can do to Manning that's going to frighten him. He has seen everything. Nothing you can throw at him.
But the old adage goes, now correct me if I'm wrong, Ralph, defense wins you championships.
Not necessarily now.
Okay.
Not in this league, but I would worry a little bit. Remember 2 years ago the Packers had the number 1 offense. They went 15-1.
Yep.
But their defense wasn't that great. They just figured they'd just keep scoring more, and
right.
We did not go to the Super Bowl that
right.
year.
You did not.
And I'll say something to back that stat.
That's true.
The top 5 scoring offenses of all time, the top 5 scoring, none of them has won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
None of them. That includes Minnesota Vikings. That includes the New England Patriots. That includes the Packers.
Sure.
The top 5 scoring offenses of all time have never won Super Bowls. The closest was actually the Patriots losing to the Giants.
So does the Broncos pick up someone from free agency, or do they say, please wait till week 6 so we have Mr. Von Miller back? I mean, is that what they do?
Von Miller and Bailey will shore up that defense enough, and their schedule doesn't scare me that much, except in the November games, which we talked about.
Now, on the flip side, the Cowboys, do we write them in as winning their division?
They'll win their division.
I mean, do you think I don't know if anyone can actually compete. If they're going to compete that way, not that the Broncos defense was good, but they're going to compete that way, I mean, they should be able to walk with this division. I mean, right?
Yeah, they should walk away with that division. There's the Eagles, maybe, but the other 2 teams look dead in the water.
Right.
But they're going to walk away with that division at 8-8. I mean, the Dallas still has Tony Romo, who shrinks in the big moments. 8-8 will win that division.
They'll get into the playoffs by sucking the least. Really.
That's right.
Okay.
That is absolutely the truth.
All right, next game, Seattle and Indy. Now, this game was interesting because Indy never gave up. I mean, and credit to Seattle. I mean, both teams played really, really well, just going after each other.
It was a fun game to watch. It wasn't a fun ending to watch.
Right,
for me.
But Indy.
Now I have to go back to the Packer bandwagon.
Got the Packer bandwagon.
But what does it tell us about Indy? I mean, are they a team to be reckoned with? Are they? Because I mean, they lose and they win, they lose. I mean, what are we looking at?
I tell you what, there is a lot of room on the Andrew Luck bandwagon. You want to jump on that with me here?
Okay.
I've said Andrew Luck is better than Russell Wilson. Not by much, but I do like Luck better than Wilson.
Okay.
I think if you put Luck behind that Seattle offensive line, he's done.
Well, you can't do that, okay? They're not going to do Seattle and Indianapolis. They're not trading quarterbacks for 1 week just so that you can prove a point.
This is a hot debate.
It is a tough debate right now. I love it.
It's like, hey, I've seen Andrew Luck run. It's not graceful, but it's effective.
Yeah, true.
And I saw Russell Wilson take some brutal hits, and it's the truth. That offensive line for Seattle's banged up.
Yeah, that's going to make it
and when you
rough
lose
for them.
3 starters, in the season.
Now, I mean, you bring it up, 3 starters.
I don't know what they're.
Are they in trouble? Are they in trouble? They need to start.
If they keep blocking like that, they could be in trouble. If you watch that
they
game,
forget to block.
Yes. He's looking where the pass rush is coming from first, and then
Of them making his
going
moves.
somewhere and then trying to find somebody downfield. Like that's how he's playing right now.
That can't happen. That's playing scary. You're gonna get
That's
hurt.
tough.
Yeah, you're gonna get hurt.
I mean, that's why he ran for over 100 yards.
And that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. All right, next game: Raiders, Chargers. Now,
You just don't know which Charger team.
I don't know. But yeah, that's exactly right. I don't know what Chargers are going to show up. Right? Is it Philip Rivers going to throw for 3 touchdowns or 3 interceptions? Because I have no idea. And then you got the Raiders. Like, I think we have this guy. I think we have that guy for quarterback. And then all of a sudden they're like, screw it, we're running with Terrell Pryor, and Terrell Pryor is running it. I mean, is this something that the AFC teams need to be worried about, or not at all?
All you need to worry about in that game is when you face San Diego, do you get good San Diego or bad San Diego?
Okay.
Oakland, you know you're just getting bad Oakland all the time.
Oh,
So that's not a worry. What you have to worry about, and the Cowboys had to face this. They faced good San Diego. San Diego beat them.
right.
But San Diego, they love to trot out bad San Diego so many times. I
Yeah.
don't understand why they like to feature bad San Diego. Can't you guys just be good San Diego until you play Denver?
I think it's an every other week thing. Hasn't it been every other week thing?
You know what?
They lost
I would
Ryan
almost say
Matthews.
that it has been an every
They
other week
lost
thing.
Matthews in this game to a concussion. So the running game is going to be pretty weak.
Yeah, but
I mean, I
still,
don't know. I don't know. You got Philip Rivers. He's trying to figure it out. But again, you don't know when he's going to show up. I
It's
mean,
Jekyll
you really
and
don't.
Hyde Rivers.
Yeah, it is Jekyll and Hyde Rivers. I agree.
Well, it's like sometimes he wants to play like one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, and other times
He wants to be a game manager.
he wants to be a game manager, and we cannot have that. It's killing us right now.
So, do we need to worry about these teams in the AFC as far as a
Either
wild
of
card
those two?
spot?
No.
Not at all.
No, why would you worry about those two? Like I said, the only thing you really got to worry about is the San Diego that's good, that shows up
That might give you your one
7
loss.
times
Yeah.
a year. There's going to be a good San Diego. 9 times a year, you're going to get the
I
bad.
don't think you're going to get 2 wild cards out of the AFC West anyway.
No,
True, you
So
got
it'll just be
KC,
the
and
Chiefs.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think
there you
either
go.
of those 2 teams are going to
Yep.
make it.
All right, and then last one we're going to talk about Miami and Ravens. Ravens edging them out with a field goal. I mean, Dolphins are they? You said earlier they've lost 2 games now straight. Are they done? Is it over for people in Miami now?
yes, Florida. Nothing to root for. That was your last hope. But I said it last week. This is the team out of all the undefeateds
Right.
that when they start to lose, they will lose a lot. That team will end up 6-10.
It's over.
It's over for them. That wasn't a very good team to begin with. They kind of surprised some people in the first 3. They got a couple of nice victories.
Right.
But the rest of the year, that's going to be a team. If they get to 8-8, I'll be shocked.
Are the Ravens making the playoffs and or the Super Bowl?
Definitely not the Super Bowl.
Not the Super Bowl.
I can't remember who I picked.
You know what? At this point, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think that right now Kansas City and Indianapolis are going to be your wild cards. And actually, no, maybe Houston
I
will
don't
falter
think
enough to
Houston's
let
gonna-
Baltimore in.
They could.
So right now you have 2 really, just
The AFC 's a
terrible
mess.
teams. Yeah, just a mess. Like
After
just give
this
Denver
week-
the Super Bowl and let's forget the rest of it. Kansas City is not this good, but they're good, but they're not this
For
good.
those of
They're
you
not
who didn't
Denver
know,
good.
this show is based out of Denver.
Yes.
This is true. All
Go
right.
Nuggets.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the Week 6 games. I'm going to kick it over here to Rolf. We're going to talk about some game managers and are they worth the money? Are they?
That depends on who you're talking about.
Okay, so we're going to talk about 4 quarterbacks in general. We're going to talk about Flacco, Tannehill, Alex Smith, and Matt Schaub. And we're going to try to figure this out.
To be fair, Ryan Tannehill's pretty new, so I don't know that he's really a game manager yet. But
Okay.
we threw him in here just because it seems like he is.
Well, but he's not spectacular like RG3. He's not spectacular like Kaepernick or Wilson or any
No.
of those. He's kind of
Talking about like a hybrid quarterback type
he's
thing. Yeah.
He's
your basic quarterback.
right now. He's not a gunslinger.
He may end up being a pocket quarterback that ends up being better than he is now. That's why I'm
Right.
saying he's
Right.
not spectacular, but he could be better than just a game manager. He's
Okay.
just,
Ooh, I don't see it.
All right, so Flacco.
I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt. Holy mama! But he's included on
Rolf
this
is
list.
being nice. So Ryan Tannehill fans being nice.
Remember, I don't like Florida.
All right.
So, your highest paid, and this is my favorite, your highest paid game manager here is Joe Flacco at $120 million,
$120 million.
making $20 million a year
Jeez.
with a quarterback rating of 70.1. He's number 27 in the league.
27th.
You're 27. And we knew this when he got that contract. We're like, they just blew all their money for a game manager.
Right.
Basically.
Okay.
He's not going to win you games. He's trying not to lose you games. I mean, in the playoffs, it was impressive.
Right.
I was really impressed that he played that well.
Right.
But overall, you've never seen him play like that.
But do you think that the Ravens wish that Sean Moore had knocked down that ball? Because if he would have knocked down that ball, they would have only had to pay him $80 million. They would never have had to give him $120.
Yeah.
If he would have just knocked down that ball, just tipped it away, right now we'd be talking to Flacco.
And here's the problem with
70 to 80.
when you pay
27th in the league, man. That's freaking.
it's horrible.
Oh, and he's the
When you
highest
pay a
paid
game,
quarterback.
when you pay
Second
highest.
Yeah.
When you pay a game manager that much money, you can't give him any weapons.
Right. I mean, seriously, what else can you afford, Baltimore? Seriously.
And
You
he
can't
can't
afford much.
We don't need the hero Anquan Bolden anymore. He's unnecessary.
Yeah, right.
Wait, you want another
Now-
receiver? No.
Now, what's the record right now? 3-2?
3-2.
3-2?
3-2.
3-2. Okay, so $120 million gets you 3-2 and 27th in the league. What else you got?
Your number 2 paid quarterback is Matt Schaub at $62 million,
Matt Schaub.
making
Texas.
$15 million a year. He's slightly better than Joe Flacco at a 76.9, which ranks him 25th, 2 spots ahead of Joe Flacco.
Wow, that is a
And
lot of money at the bottom.
And he
of the
actually
pack.
has weapons.
Yeah, he has plenty of weapons.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And
Do you foresee something like Christian Ponder? We gave you a chance. I gave you all these weapons. You're gone. Do you see the same thing with Matt Schaub?
Ponder should be on this list.
Do you see the same thing with Matt Schaub though? Like, I have given you this team for X amount of years. I give you Andre Johnson. I've given you all these guys. And you can't win games, and you have to rate 25th, and we're 2-3 right now in the league?
Because of who they have at backup, I don't think they will.
Yeah, but you go pick up somebody, right?
Yeah. I mean if there's anybody worth it. But
TJ Yates has as many playoff victories as Schaub. They each have one.
right, but if you look at it,
That's terrible. Gosh, dang.
it is bad. But
He has
if you
as
look
many
at it,
playoff wins as Tebow.
I don't think you have. If you look at TJ Yates, you're not going to win a Super Bowl with TJ Yates either.
No, you're
So
not.
I mean, Schaub seems like the better shot at winning
Right now.
further.
But, like, next year?
End of the season, that all goes out the window. I'm just
Okay.
saying right now, he's
Okay.
probably going to stay there starting quarterback because
But, man, I mean, 25th ranked. I mean, come on.
for $15 million a year. I don't-
Freaking ridiculous. No wonder they're burning his jersey out there. Okay, next one. Who else you got?
Your next rated quarterback, and I think is my best value,
Yeah.
is Alex Smith at $28 million. He's making $9 million a year.
$28 million. $9 million a year. Alex Smith, 5-0. Kansas City Chiefs win 2 games all year last year. They're already winning 5 now.
I think he's
And they look-
benefiting though from working with Andy Reid. Really, I mean.
The way they kind of control the game aspect.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, Andy Reid's a great quarterback coach. So
Yeah.
I think he's.
Well,
really benefiting from that.
he has weapons like he did in San Francisco. Jamal Charles, Dwayne Bowe. I think Moiaki's hurt. They have a great offensive line there in Kansas
They
City.
do.
They really
Great
do. They have
offense.
Dexter McCluster.
Yeah.
Alex Smith is a perfect fit with that. He's going to spread the ball around just enough, and the defense on Kansas City
Stout.
is very good. Not as good as San Francisco's maybe, but they are talented on the defensive side of the ball.
Very good.
And Alex Smith is not going to make mistakes and
That's all he's
low-scoring
doing, yeah.
games. Absolutely, Alex Smith is a great
Pretty
value.
consistent. Pretty
Yeah.
consistent.
He's just he won't turn it over.
What's his ratings and stuff? What you got there?
He is an 83.7 QBR, and he's number 18 in the league.
Wow, 83.7.
I mean, you're talking. That's like a $30 million difference between him and Matt Schaub.
That's a starting wide receiver you could have picked up a free agent, right? To give it as another
That's why
weapon.
they were able to keep Dwayne Bowe on the team
You have
because
Dwayne-
True.
You have Dwayne Bowe, Jamal Charles. Oh, Joe Flacco, who do you have?
You have absolutely nothing.
Joe, you had Dennis Pitta. Oh, he's hurt.
Dennis Pitta, really?
Val Bolden's gone.
Unbelievable.
Wait, Torrey Smith, Jacoby Jones. Yeah, these were supposed to be the future, the stars of the young.
Junk. All right, and the last quarterback you got on the list.
Surprisingly, is the highest rated quarterback out of all of them. Ryan Tannehill making the least amount at $3 million a year, $12 million total salary.
So they bought him at Walmart.
85.5 QBR,
Wow.
He's ranked the 15th. He's in the top 15.
That's good. That's good. Great rating.
And they can afford Mike
bargain.
Wallace.
They can afford to bring on Mike Wallace, but what has
And
Wallace
let go of
done?
Reggie
I mean, bring
Bush.
that up. That's huge.
They
Bush.
They let go of Reggie
Turn
Bush.
it up in Detroit. Man. So do you foresee maybe more weapons for Tannehill? He's a starter for Miami for years to come? Or?
I can't say right now, but I think, those two quarterbacks, Tannehill and Smith, it looks like the less you pay for the game managers, the more you get out of them.
The more you get out of them, the more we can put a team around them, right? That's what it looks like.
Exactly.
It literally looks like if I could just get a couple of guys that are not going to turn the ball over, and I can afford to actually buy, this wideout, this tight end, better offensive line, I give us a better shot to win.
Could you imagine if you paid Flacco $1, just how good he would be?
Yeah, all these guys.
You'd have everybody you need if you just took $1.
I think McDonald's paid more than on the commercial. All right, well.
What a horrible commercial.
Well, okay, that's great knowledge there. It's amazing. I think personally, based upon just looking at those four quarterbacks, looking at what the Dolphins are doing this year, obviously they lost 2 straight, but they look great coming out of the gate, and then obviously Kansas City looking spectacular. So
here's what you walk away with, general managers. Don't overpay for a game manager.
Do not overpay. Ridiculous.
That kills your team. If you don't overpay, get an Aaron Rodgers or get a Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
thinking about signing Matt Flynn to my team somehow.
I don't know about that.
Paying him $1 because I think he'll be awesome.
It will be awesome. All right. Thanks, Rolf, for that. And
incentive-based contract.
Randy, we're going to talk to you about some of our surprises in the league so far. Through 5 games, we have a couple of teams on this list that we're like, well, they should have been maybe better than we thought or maybe worse than we thought. So what do you got on there? What's your first team?
We'll start with some of the nice surprises.
Sure.
The New Orleans Saints.
I
did not think they would be a 5-0 team at this point. I thought they might be 3-2. I thought they'd make the playoffs, but they look like they're picking up from their Super Bowl year. They look like they're picking up at that kind of a pace. Rob Ryan has the defense playing out of their heads.
Flying.
He's got them pumped.
Yeah.
Which
is a great dynamic to get over there, right? You think about it. Sean Payton back. He's pretty aggressive, like an Bill Parcells protege, so to speak. And then you bring in Rob Ryan, fired up.
And that team, they think they have something to prove, and they might want to show that we are not the worst defense statistically that has ever played, and they are playing very well. I thought they'd be good, not great.
Is this a top NFC team?
No.
Is this the number one NFC team?
But I think they'll be up there. I was surprised how much a difference the coach can make.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. I didn't think that would be the case.
Right
now, I'd put them second behind Seattle. I still think Seattle's the best team.
I think the Saints are the best in the NFC. The way they look, they're firing on defense. They're forcing turnovers. I'm telling you, Drew Brees is accurate. I think the Saints, they look phenomenal. I see them walking in the division. I see them taking the Seahawks down.
Well, Rob Ryan's defenses are known to get figured out, and then late in the season they lose. Ask the Cowboys about Rob Ryan's defenses when it counts.
Yes, but he'll say, ask Tony Romo.
Yeah,
so that's what he'll say.
I'm still saying,
I guarantee Rob Ryan is much happier with Drew Brees than he was with Tony Romo.
Yes, but still, be careful. Rob Ryan's defenses do get figured out eventually.
What do you think?
I don't see New Orleans beating Seattle.
New Orleans not beating Seattle?
No, I don't see New Orleans beating Seattle.
We'll see about that. All right, next team.
KC. I'm not as surprised as everybody else seems to be. I pick them every week. I pick them to win, so obviously I think they should be good.
Was this one of those things where you're like, whoever does the most transactions when it comes to moving players around, they're going to be a better team? Is that what you were thinking on this?
No, they didn't.
Because they brought in a new coach, new quarterback, got rid of the other guy.
But they didn't really bring in. They brought in a new quarterback.
That changed the whole
They've
dynamic
kept the defense very intact. Tons of Pro Bowlers are on that defense
already.
They were supposed to be a very good team last year. They were supposed to be a 10-6 team. This is the year where they are going to be a 10-6, 11-5 team. I'm not surprised by it. Andy Reid kind of, I think, calms them. Haley is a terrible head coach, and I think that Andy Reid has brought kind of a calm. He's brought a respectability
Sure.
And they love this coach, and I think Kansas City they're not a surprise to me, but they are a surprise to a lot of other people.
Okay. Next team.
We're gonna go to the dregs. We're
Okay.
gonna take on the Giants.
The New York Football Giants. I think every week we talked about these guys.
Oh, we just can't
fun.
get away from it.
But you can't stop talking about the New York Giants because you expect so much. I don't know what it is. I've never been to New York or the state of New York, but I don't know what it is about New York. But you hear about New York Yankees or New York this, New York that, and you're like, oh, New York Giants. They won a couple Super Bowls. It's Eli Manning. Probably be pretty good.
It's not fair to throw the Giants in with those other two teams because we actually have a salary cap in the NFL.
Right.
Where those other New York teams just can spend as much as they want.
Yeah,
Right.
And that's why they're hated.
I get it, but I mean, you don't expect the Giants to be 0-5.
No, not after.
I mean, if anyone's a betting man at Vegas, there's no way you'd be like 0-5. I put $5,000 on Giants. No way.
I didn't.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
No, I thought they'd be at this point. I thought they'd be 3-2. I mean, I really did. I picked the Giants to win so many times, and I'm not anymore. I'm done with you. I'm done. I thought you could beat Philadelphia at home, and you didn't. You hurt me there. It's like I'm so mad that this other Manning is just throwing so many Why does one Manning throw one interception and the other Manning throws all of the interceptions? I mean, has this been a deal between the two? It's like, look, younger bro, I've only got a little bit of time.
I'll take this record. You take this record.
You get all the touchdowns. I'll break the interception record.
And we're good.
We'll see what that does for our respective careers. I've got 2 Super Bowls. You've got 1. I'll take all the interceptions. You can have the touchdowns.
Does Coughlin get fired at the end of the season, middle of the season, or what?
Coughlin gets fired at the end of the season. I don't think they'll make it to.
I think he's done too much to fire him during the season.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be disrespectful to fire somebody who's won 2 Super Bowls for you and in the middle. Like the Lane Kiffin thing where you come back from the airport and guess what, Tom? You're fired.
Yeah.
Hey, before you get on the bus.
We talked to you.
You never know, though. I mean, when you lose, I mean, NFL stands for what? Not for long.
Yeah,
I mean,
not for long.
I mean, that's how it works. I mean, if you're losing, you're in the league, not for long. You're gone. So you're going to be an analyst right behind us. So, I mean,
that's right. And
you never know.
I don't know if Coughlin would be very good at that. So
I don't think so
either.
either.
A lot of money as a coach, buddy.
Last team.
Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
You are not supposed to be 0-4 at any point in your lives. Is that team supposed to be 0-4?
When the Cleveland Browns have a better record than you, do you just pack in the rest of the season, or what do you do?
I want to know. I really do. I want to know what the suicide rate in Pittsburgh is right now.
It has to be
every
high.
single loss. I think we lose about 100,000 Pittsburgh fans.
Can you imagine? Because that's a huge fan base. They don't like to lose. I mean, can you imagine all those terrible towels? They're getting fired up.
They're bloody now. They just have throat slits and bloody towels everywhere.
Do they even bring them to the game anymore? I don't even know if they do. They probably just sit on them now.
Well, they have to blow their nose or something when they're crying, so they would probably need the terrible towels still. It's just now they're kind of green and mucky.
We talked about Ben Roethlisberger showing his age possibly. Are we seeing a change at quarterback in Steeler country? Rolf, what do you think?
I think they should tank the season and try to get younger with the draft.
You think so?
That's what they should do. They just look super old.
They just look.
I'm sure Ben has more years left in him.
Okay.
But he needs to stay upright for one and not have to hustle, not have to run around anymore.
He just gets beat up and runs around. And
by the end of the year, he will miss 3 games at some point. He's going to miss 3 games at least because he's going to get nailed.
Well, you got to take some time off. You gotta take
There's lots of high school girls out there he needs to hit on.
If you're 0-10, I mean, I'd take a couple weeks off too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you haven't won a game yet, you may as well sit there and go, look, I don't want to play this
Screw
week.
it, Charlie Batch, get in there.
I don't think he plays anymore. I think the backup is
Charlie quit, huh?
Yeah. I think
Charlie got too old.
Charlie's way too old now to play. No, it's Landry Jones. That's like their backup now. Is the guy out of Oklahoma.
It's crazy.
So it's like, Landry, you want to take some hits? Play quarterback?
There you go. All right, well, thank you for joining us with these topics. We'll see what happens in Week 6. We're going to talk more about trade deadlines next week, and we're going to see what kind of changes happen as far as who's leading their divisions. We'll see you guys next week, Week 6. Thank you for joining us on Offsides. We're out.